The song that we're going to sing will give thanks and praise to Jesus for his gift at the cross. And literally, some of the words say that loving Christ came to this world and found us in darkness. He opened the doors of heaven by giving his life at the cross. We want to say that we love you, Lord, that we thank you, Lord, that you give for that gift at the cross and for the gift of salvation.
Иисус любовью в мир наш пришел, и во тьме Он нас нашел. Двери в небо нам открывает на Голгофском кресте. Иисус, Тебя мы любим, Иисус, благодарим за то, что на Голгофе нам спасение открыл. Руки над нами Ты простираешь, чтобы нас благословить. Мир свой небесный нам посылаешь, счастье, радость, добрый час. Иисус, Тебя мы любим, Иисус, благодарим за то, что на Голгофе нам спасение открыл. Скоро придешь Ты снова на землю, чтобы взять себе всех нас. Взор наш в небо мы направляем каждый день и каждый час. Иисус, Тебя мы любим, Иисус, благодарим за то, что на Голгофе нам спасение открыл. Иисус, Тебя мы любим, Иисус, благодарим за то, что на Голгофе нам спасение открыл. Нам спасение
On Thursday, I was having lunch with Dasha. Is Dasha here? Still downstairs. Oh, there you go, the pack. I was with Dasha and her good friend, her best friend, Claudia, right? It was Thursday noon. We were having lunch at Mongos. Claudia, which, by the way, you spell it Klaudya, just to make things complicated, right? She's an atheist. She has never been to church. And throughout the conversation, we were having a good time eating together. I kind of tried to explain to this young lady, I think she's 18, 19 years old, that has never been to church, not a Christian, never to an Adventist church, try to explain to her what we were going to do today at church, the communion service, which could be probably easy to explain, but the food washing, when we came to the food washing, her eyes were wide open. Really? You watch somebody's feet? Yeah, we do that. And we hug at the end, and I tried to explain, but it was so interesting. Somebody that had never, ever heard of such thing. So I see from here, I see a few people that I don't know. And I don't know if you are a visitor just for this time, is your first time here or not, or if you have been a member from here many years ago and you came back, I don't know. But what I noticed is there are a few faces that I don't recognize. This is what I'm going to ask from everybody here. If you came here, it's your first time, and you came by yourself, please, by any means, at the end of the whole service, meet me outside there. I mean, not outside of the building, but by the door. And I will explain to you what we just did. If you are new and came with somebody that you know, ask that person what's going on, all right? So you members and friends that come here regularly, your task is to tell them what we are going to do. But today I'm going to focus on those who have come here regularly for years to no end, and once a quarter have gone through the how we call it, the ordinance of humility, right? So this is for you. A couple of weeks ago, during the fireplace, which is a meeting that the young adults have in my place the first Friday of each month, we had a very candid conversation about communion service and about what it means and what it doesn't. But my main question, actually how I started the question, here there are about 15 young adults from this church, is when you hear the word communion service, what comes to your mind? I saw the expression, I say, two things. Do not give me a Sabbath school answer, perfect, that we know exactly what to say. Second of all, do not be politically correct with me. The first thing that comes to your mind, and with almost no exception, almost unanimity, was long morning, confusion about who's going to wash my feet, who am I going to do it with, should I, shouldn't I, going with emotion. But the first feelings weren't positive feelings, weren't, it's a day where I really feel Sabbath, where I really feel the experience of no. It was, we know what's going on because we have heard it many times. We just don't really, we don't connect. So I said, okay, I saw that coming, and I said, okay, so let's try to fix it. Imagine that you had to explain to somebody that has gone to church forever, how can you help that person to experience communion service? And a few perfect Sabbath school answers came, and then I said, okay, wait. I'm going to pick one person. And what I did is I picked Gaetano. He knows about it. He knows so much that his name is on the bulletin board and on the bulletin. So come over, Gaetano. I said, we have a student, a young adult, that goes with emotions, because pretty much everybody there went with emotions on the communion service. I said, okay, you can sit here. I said, how can we help Gaetano connect And then things started getting more interesting, the conversation. But still, it was pretty much Sabbath school perfect answer. They all knew what to say because they all heard it so many times. Many of them since they were just babies. And they started participating when they got baptized, some of them. But they all knew, how can you reinvent the story? Well, I came up with an idea. I said, Gaetano, what if I wash your feet on the stage in front of everybody? Do you think that you will pay attention? Do you think that there will be some connection there? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wash Gaetano's feet. And then he's going to wash my feet. Now, this is not an illustration. This is not an example. I'm not doing this to make it memorable for you guys. I'm not even going through the style of doing something that is shocking so I get somebody's attention. This, and I told Gaetano when we met this week, this, Gaetano, I'm doing for you. You guys are watching. But here, take it as you want. But the sole purpose here that I have in my heart is you, Gaetano. Because I too have gone through the motions many times. Many, many times, even as a pastor. And we are living in a time that we just can't go through the motions. This is too serious. And I am very simple. My theology is very simple. I don't know how to get into big, deep conversations. And how do I talk to a young man that has his bachelor's, 4 years of PhD, and now he's doing another bachelor's on law. He's doing law school. How can I explain to him what we are doing when he knows everything? I don't know, Gaetano. So as I was telling you this week, I do not have the answer. But sorry. But Gaetano, this is not the time to get lost. This is not the time to go with the flow. This is not the time to lose track. This is the time to connect with God. And just let God talk to you. Okay, you can put it on. So we purposely didn't script what we are doing today. Like we met this week. We spent a good couple hours talking and getting to know each other better. And we saw how in the 1.5 years that we've met, we never had a conversation, personal conversation. So I told him, no script for tomorrow, because this is real. Your turn, I'll hold my. Go ahead.
Well, the first thing I've really noticed is just seeing Pastor Josue's reaction as he washed my feet. Now, I know Pastor Josue is a very jovial person. He's always cracking a joke, always has a big smile, at least from what I see. And he's always there to brighten up Wednesday. But when I see him in this state, I've never seen him like this before. Just the passion and how much this has moved him. Just to see how much he has a vested interest in all of us, in the young adults, that we do make that connection during communion service. Now, I'm sure I'm not just speaking for myself, but for other people. But when we say, yeah, when we come to communion service, there might be some dread that we feel inside us. If we know that it's coming up, we might not be looking forward to it. If it catches us by surprise, we might think, oh, maybe we just go home before the communion service starts. But when I see how much this means, it's very easy for a communion service to not mean anything, to lose its meaning. But when I see how much Pastor Josue is moved, shedding the tears, having that look in his face, how much he cares about our salvation, that instills even greater meaning towards this communion service. Well, at first, I was thinking, wow, I had the pastor wash my feet. That's not something that we have every day. Someone that I look up to, someone that I admire, and to say that, wow, he washed my feet. And then when you put your place in the disciples, when Jesus washed their feet, what was going on through their mind? Definitely they weren't feeling that great. They were all arguing amongst themselves, saying, oh, who's going to wash our feet? None of us is low enough to wash each other's feet. And then when Jesus takes that place to actually stoop down, bend down, get on his knees, and wash everyone's feet, makes you wonder what was going through their heads. Now, when Pastor Josue washed my feet, I was like, wow, that was something. That was really something. And then, when you think about it, I did know that he was going to wash my feet today. So I do have to say that did bring a sense of peace, a sense of calm. I didn't have to walk down the stairs to the basement thinking, oh, who am I going to wash my feet with? I knew he was going to be there for me. I knew that we were going to have partners, and we were going to be able to connect. Now, we don't have any grievances to air out between ourselves. So it's not like we had to discharge any heavy feeling off of our chests before doing this ordinance of humility. But it was such a blessing to be able to get together beforehand and to know that this will be the man, this God-fearing man, he will be the one that will be washing my feet. And to be able to connect with him, to discuss with him, and just to talk about our lives, and have that connection, that dialogue that maybe many of us are missing in church, that was just such a blessing. And it has been a real honor and a privilege to have a fantastic foot washing partner, and just to have that connection. It's really something special.
Thank you, Gaetan. May I have you? Hug you?
Absolutely.
We look on TV at the news, and we see where this where this world is going. We have no time to waste. Traditions were born in a beautiful way of illustrating something good. Let's not make traditions to become something cold that we get accustomed to. It's communion service today. We remember Jesus, and we want to connect with him and with ourselves.